Good afternoon and welcome to SAIT News File. I'm Ryan O'Donnell. Storm Lenny will have a look at today's forecast and Ray Lahu a look at sports later on. But first, here's a look at today's top stories. Today's the day, Calgary. The fate of the Calgary 2026 Olympic bid will be determined tonight. The highly anticipated plebiscite is underway and a reported 13,000 have already gone to the polls. The lead up to the vote has been controversial, with passionate support coming from both sides of the yes and no vote. While the vote is considered to be non-binding to the city and federal government, the Alberta government says its $700 million will be bound to the results of the note. No clear winner has been predicted for the vote. 5 people have been injured in a major crash south of Lethbridge involving a stolen truck. RCMP says a couple's truck collided with another vehicle while passing through an intersection. Police are saying the other truck was stolen, and pictures of the incident show both cars totaled. Officers have not released any further information on the crash or the extent of the injuries. The trial for a 16-year-old who shot a German tourist in the head in August makes his first court appearance in Calgary today. The teen is charged with multiple charges, including attempted murder. The tourist survived the attack but had permanent damage. A Calgary judge granted the teen bail on November 1st, so long as he lives with his grandparents. A tourist from Grand Prairie, Brittany Schneider, faces a $4,000 fine after spray painting an ancient wall in Thailand. Schneider was initially given 2 years in prison, but a Thai judge later changed her mind, letting Schneider return home as she could have originally Schneider could have up to 10 years in prison and fines up to a maximum of 40,000 Canadian dollars. The race for the 2019 Alberta provincial election has a new contender. Marilyn Burns, who started the Wild Rose Party, has now created the Alberta Advantage Party. Advantage was created by former Wild Rose members who were upset with the merger between Wild Rose and the Alberta Conservatives. The party is described as right of center, but Burns says she wants to appeal to all voters. Advantage received over 8,000 votes on a petition to add the party to the list of Alberta political parties. The next Alberta election will kick off on May 19th next year.
Well, it was a busy night for sports all across Canada. Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it was busy, but it wasn't really a good night for Canadian sports fans. See, the Toronto Raptors have lost their first home game of the season after a 124-110 pummeling from the New Orleans Pelicans. The Raptors and Pelicans were neck and neck in the first. Anthony Davis trying to put the Pelicans up, but Van Vliet swipes the ball away, sends it down the line to Leonard, who slams it in New Orleans' face. Now on to the second. New Orleans pulls ahead, so Leonard tries to give some energy to the Raptors, but Davis gets a little revenge on Toronto with a huge defensive block of his own. The Raptors had the worst first half of the season so far, giving up 66, and after that it was all New Orleans who would finish Toronto off in the fourth. Anthony Davis put up a healthy 25 points over the Raptors. Serge Ibaka tried to pick up the slack for the Raptors, but his 19-point effort just wasn't enough. This is the first game the Raptors have lost while Kawhi Leonard was in the lineup. The Chicago Blackhawks visited the Carolina Hurricanes, trying to snap a 7-game losing skid. The game was physical and tight for the first 2 periods, with the shots being even, along with the score. Tied going into the third, Brock McGinn tries to net one past his former teammate Cam Ward, but Moore dives and makes a ridiculous pad save. Then into overtime, Aho shows control and skill as he drags the puck and shoots right through the 5-hole, sending the Hawks to their 8th straight loss. The Golden State Warriors were shocked by the LA Clippers last night, who beat them 121-116 in overtime. The Clippers blew a 14-point lead in the fourth, but the Warriors couldn't quite put LA away, so overtime was needed. Kevin Durant put up 33 points, however, his effort wasn't enough as the Clippers held on to stun the Warriors. To add salt to the wound, there was an apparent confrontation between Draymond Green and Kevin Durant late in the game. It's reported that teammates argued over Green's decision to not pass to Durant in the last minute of regulation. The New York Rangers sunk the Vancouver Canucks 2-1 last night in a tight game that put both teams' goalies to the test. Tied going into the third, Chris Krieger tries to shock the Canucks early, but Markstrom shows the pad on a beautiful lunging save. Now, with just under 10 minutes left, the Rangers right off the faceoff. Brett Howden gets over there, picks it off, and wrists one past Markstrom to lift the Rangers to the win. Markstrom was excellent for the Canucks, but his 25 saves wasn't enough to halt the Rangers. Vancouver now has the worst third period in the league, netting in 26 goals in the last period. The Canucks still sit atop the Pacific Division, but the Flames and Sharks both chasing the leads. Both are 1 point back of Vancouver.